Hello, YouTube! I am Pinstar, and this is This Grand Live version 1.0. Actually, no, that's a bit of a lie. Well, about last week or so, the dev brought the game all the way up and released it fully as a 1.0. And afterwards, he's been updating it feverishly. It reaching 1.0, it did not slow him down. As you can see, we're already up to 1.12. Space-based DF9, this is not. And thank goodness, because this game's had a lot added to it since the last time we took a look at it in version, oh god, it was 0.92 or something. It was in early access, but a lot has been added. And I figured upon seeing the game released, you know what, let's hop back in it. Let's take Nema Relicta out for another spin. But to mix things up a bit, we're going to be taking a completely different approach to the game. So, for those of you who have seen the entirety of Nema's first journey, you'll be seeing all new approaches here at all stages of the game. Right then, let's dive right in. Custom game here. Now, one thing we are going to be doing the same is being born behind a dumpster. That much of the challenge is staying. In fact, you know what? We were able to beat that challenge, so we need a bigger challenge. So I'm going to be turning it up a little bit. Now, one of the other things we're going to do here is when we did Nema's first playthrough, Sydney, Australia, the home of the dev, it was actually the only city available. That being said, he has since added 3 more. Now, being a warm-blooded American who was born and raised in New Jersey, very close to, about 30 minutes from New York, New York, I can't help but have a little affinity for this dear city that one would love visiting but never would want to live in. And in addition, he's added a few bits of traits to make the maps a bit more realistic. And I'd say, being fairly familiar with the locale of New York, that these are fairly accurate traits. But you know what? To up the challenge, let's add another trait. Let's add another aspect of the game that will make it even more accurate. Because now, since he's added these advanced options and you can start messing with some of the global things here, being that this is America and we have freedom, freedom from paying reasonable prices for healthcare, which kind of sucks. Actually, it really, really sucks. But, hey, all in the name of realism here and slightly lower taxes, I guess. We are going to drop healthcare funding down to, let's say 10%. That's about accurate. That's being a little bit generous, actually. The actual health tax that one has to pay as a worker is actually a little bit less than that. But I'd say the health cost, whenever you get sick or injured, having to pay prices that are about 1,487.97% higher than they should be, that's pretty accurate. So yeah, we're going to be playing this game with this little nugget of joy looming over us. So let's see if we can make it happen. Now then, of course, we are going to be playing our near dear bar fighting Nema Relicta. But of course, this is not the original Nema. She was successful in her goal, so this is Nema Relicta the second. Now, one other thing that I'm challenging myself to do to make this a completely different playthrough is I am giving myself the limitation that I may not pick any of the traits, positive or negative, that I picked in my previous playthrough. So everything that we used for the original Nema is off the table, cannot touch. So what are we going to do for this playthrough? Well, you know what? Managing your finances is obviously a big component of the game. Why don't we make that a little trickier by making her a gambling addict? Yes, every week we gamble away a portion of our bank account. That should be fun in trying to reach $1 million. Now, we can't pick limited language because we picked that last time, but there is this lovely convicted criminal trait, which essentially does the same thing as limited language, is worth the same points, but unlike limited language, you can't get rid of it. You also can't get rid of gambling addiction. So these are two flaws that we are kind of stuck with. And last but not least, while we're on the pain train here, let's make ourselves a poor negotiator. We're not so good with them salaries there, and we'll say yes to anything. So yeah. But luckily, these three rather nasty traits combined have overcome our original -8 starting from being born behind a dumpster, and we've got 3 points to play with. Now, I would love to get the Speedwalker trait for this map, because cars and scooters are essentially ineffective and generally not worth it. That said, we can't pick it because we picked it in the last game. So I'm going to go with Marketer. Your business brand awareness decays 30% slower. And if you haven't guessed it by our combination of traits about what kind of approach I'm going to be taking this time, well, you'll see it in due time. Anyway, last but not least, we are once again going to be going after $1 million. Yes, I know there are other goals and we could maybe take a different approach to this, but at the end of the day, if you look at all of the things you need to do to raise these others, wealth is probably the most dynamically difficult of them, because just getting more and more of it just requires all the more work. Whereas these things, as you get richer, become a lot easier. And that kind of would make for a boring game. Right then, let's get started. All right. So, the big question that we want to start on our minds here is, what does the economy look like right now? The economy is actually a stark contrast to the economy when we started out in our first playthrough. If you remember from our first playthrough, the economy was kind of in the toilet. I think it was sub 4%. But here, this is a pretty toasty warm economy, 6.4%. That's both a good and a bad thing. We can't really dabble into stocks at the moment, and the interest rate isn't great for banking either. So we really can't really do much of either of those. We kind of just need to get into the workforce, which unfortunately is one of our weaknesses because we're not a good negotiator, but the jobs should be fairly numerous. So at least that we got that going for us, which is nice. Now, what kind of job do we want to go down? One of the other limitations that I'm going to place on myself is that we cannot take any of the same jobs that we took in the original playthrough. That means no bouncer, no bartender, no licensing person, no lawyer, none of that. All the career path that we followed in our last game ain't going to be touched. Completely different playthrough. So, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take one of the jobs that they added after the fact that wasn't even an option in the original playthrough. And that's not necessarily saying that this job is like somehow brokenly better than what was previously available. Actually, it's kind of meh, but it serves our purposes. And the job that we are looking to go for is not available due to traits or competition. Right, is it available in the park? Yeah, it's available in the park. Groundskeeper. Paying a luxurious 14.86 an hour. And that's with the economy being rather hot. So it's kind of not a very good, well-paying job. But it's our job, damn it. Or it is now. Now, this thing's not too hard on our fun meter, but it hurts our hygiene meter. We get good and stinky working as groundskeeper. But it is essential to the first phase of our life. Right then, let's, since we're right here in the park, let's work a couple of shifts. Might as well introduce ourselves to our co-workers, say hi, see what everyone's up to, and get an idea of what's going on. And now, let's get ourselves a home. Now, we do want to make sure our home is close to our work. And just as it happens, East Bronx is up here. Nice cheap home, 1-bedroom apartment, which is 10% cheaper than normal because of the map trait. I will certainly welcome that. Possessions safe up to 32,000. That's not too bad, actually. I mean, still limited, but not bad. So 1-bedroom apartment, get. And while we're here, seriously, it's not even worth taking a shower at the moment. You know what? One more round of work as a groundskeeper, and then let's get ourselves some means of eating. We'll see if we can skip the whole burger feasting here right off the bat. So let's go to Prime Purchases, get ourselves a refrigerator. We're running low on time and food, but I'm gonna go here, pick up some groceries. Yeah, I know we're burning hunger and burning happiness already on week 1, but I think we'll be okay. Now, one last thing that we want to do here, and this is going to be kind of our mantra for when since we are a gambling addict. If we were to end the week right here, a portion of our $159.82 would be gambled away. There's a small chance that we'd actually win and gain money, but as gambling goes, the chances that we lose money are more likely. But if we go ahead and dump all our stuff in the savings account, which we have this nice new deposit all feature, and have no money in our account at the end of the week, Nema can't gamble. We can starve our gambling addiction, and it's not like a bar like alcoholism was. So we can comfortably starve our gambling addiction if we plan things out properly. And that's a big F. So let's... Oh, hey. Yeah, you went gambling and your bank account changed. -$0. Can't gamble with what you can't have. Finger pointing to Temple. And yeah, we can't even afford the lively living. Not that we need it. Now, the downside to making ourselves broke every single day is that we can't afford any subscriptions, which... it would be fine, except it prevents us from having the financial dimes. And for any of you who've watched my last playthrough, I lived and died by that publication. And as I will this playthrough too. That being said, we're going to be keeping out of the stock market in the early game. Right then, hot dog eating contest. You know what? I think I'm gonna... Well, no, I can't do that. I need to eat here. We'll do a lot of working. I know our fun's going to be hurting here, but let's work a few times as that. Oh, we'll harass a passerby. Why not? We could do another groundskeeper and then hot dog it up. There we go, and I think we have just enough time to deposit this in the bank. Yes, we do. We have just enough time to shed our funds before our gambling addiction kicks in. There we go, went gambling and nothing. Let's see here. All right, our hunger is doing fine. We could probably use a shower. Go to the park. Now, one of the other benefits to working here at the park is, you know, just as we were able to do bar fights, which, by the way, were nerfed thanks to yours truly, right at the same place that we worked, we can go for a run at the same place that we work. So we can keep our health up, which, given the price of medical bills, we do not want to end the week at below 50%. We might not have the weak immunity trait like we did in our last game, but the downside to getting caught with medical bills is potentially game-ending, depending on when they strike and what your financial situation is. Kind of like in real life. Right then. Yeah, we'll do a couple of groundskeepers. Actually, you know what? Despite the nerf, I do still believe in the bar fight from time to time, at least until we can get a more permanent option. So let's go down here and fight some bars. It used to have a fun rating of 8 and a hygiene rating of only -4. So it made it a lot less, well, good after they nerfed it. But I understand the reasons for it, given how much I benefited from it. Sorry again, folks. Right then. Yeah. We should be able to afford an oven pretty soon. I will go and get that soon. But our hygiene is, well, oven is like, let's withdraw everything. Since we're in the neighborhood, let's get our oven. Oh, we can barely afford it, but we can get it. Go back here, savings account, dump it all off. Bronx, shower, eat, big eat. Yeah, we need to get some home entertainment here. We'll do for another eat just to top us off. It was a positive. So you could, it's kind of predetermined, like, you know, if we had positive money, we would have actually won and gained money. But again, it's, you don't count on that. Just like you don't count on gambling in real life. All right, our health is getting a little low. Let's make sure we go for some runs here first. Then back for a shower. Then back for some work. I think we might buy a PC eventually. Because the TV is really weak, a really weak source of fun, and also we can't really do the subscription that makes it actually a better source of fun. So I think we're going to actually go for the computer once we can afford it. Until then, bar fight. Actually, no, not bar fight. Climb statue. Oh. Well, that's expensive. I can't even afford that. I'm not going to spend that much money. I think I'm just going to punch somebody. Shower, eat. And I forgot to deposit. So, as you can see, by holding on to that money, we lost some money. I mean, it's not game mending, but yeah. Right then, let's eat at home. Let us continue, let's continue our work here. Yeah, we really do need to be able to afford a computer here. Man, with the economic growth going higher, though, everything is getting so much more expensive, including our goods. So, kind of wish that the economy would have been in the toilet. Kind of, not gonna lie, kind of wish it was there. At least the interest rate's starting to catch up. All right, let's go for a quick shower because I have a feeling we're gonna, and let's go eat because we're gonna bar fight it up. What's in our bank account? $37. Not going to afford that, so we might as well just deposit everything. I will go down here to check the price of the computer. Oh, it's actually quite reasonable. Well, I've already committed myself to the bar fight. We'll go and do that next week. That's 5, gives us 25, so we can actually do one more bar fight. That's how much is nerve. It takes 3 bar fights and we're still not quite capped off. But now that we're good and stinky, and groceries have expired, yeah, we can eat to polish them off. Alright, now let's get rid of this order pizza so I don't accidentally click it. Shower at home. There we go, that's better. All right, and we can actually we can get a computer and still have our stuff safe up from robbery. Not much else beyond that though, but we can get the computer. Just, you know, no exercise machine or anything fancy schmancy like that. All right, groundskeeper, groundskeeper. One more groundskeeper. Because we do need to pick up groceries while we're out here. So let's go shopping. Groceries. Computer. Back to the bank to deposit the excess. And back home. Yeah, I know we're... Let's eat. Also, I think that prevents us from doing boredom spending, too. Alright, let's play some PC games. So, yeah, this is still a far cry from the old school bar fights, because we're only getting 2 fun per hour for 10 hours, as opposed to 8 fun an hour for 5 hours. But, yeah, it's what we're doing with what we can. We can't get that Ultra Graphics card either. So we're just going to burn a whole heck of a lot of time here at home. Ooh, we are under 50% on health, so we're going to need to run, and then do our work. Oh, hey! We left with some money, but we got lucky because we won. So yay, we won almost $7. Woohoo! And we got a debt too. We're not going to let the debts hit automatically. We're actually going to go to the bank to pay them off proactively. So yeah, that's going to be kind of my approach for that. But let's eat. Let's shower. Let's get rid of stare at wall because we've got PC games. And go for run. Groundskeeper, groundskeeper. Let's go to the bank. Pay our debt. And then dump the rest. Since you can dump it on here and pay the debt while you're there, you might as well pay the debt. Because otherwise, the debt will try to come out of your account. Your account will be empty. You'll say, oh, you're late on your payment, blah, 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 blah. This will take care of it. It takes a few more mouse clicks, but it's worth it to keep the gambling addict in her at bay. Right then, back up here for some well-earned knowledge. Celebrity concert, yeah, we can't do that. Celebrity book signing, that might not be a bad thing, because if I remember correctly, the book signings are free. They just take a lot of time. We don't have a lot of money, but we do have time on our side at the moment. Yeah, and actually the library's not too far away from here, so it might be a good way to get some fun. So let's get our shower on, let's get our work on. Yeah, that'll be good. And then let's get our book signing on. Yeah, that's not bad. And actually it takes a lot less time now. Actually, this is a lot better. Hell, that works out beautifully. Alright, well, let's dump you in the savings account. Again, we're going to keep this nice and fluid. Our early game approach will basically involve us stocking away stuff. Now, what are we waiting for? Well, we are waiting for more work experience. And actually, one of the things that the developer put in recently is that once your work performance gets above an A-, you have a chance to trigger a lucky double experience week, which will allow you to spike up your effectively earned work experience for the same amount of time spent, which is really useful for for our purposes here. All right. 6% interest rate. Good. Keep up with that economic growth and please cool it down. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. I haven't been looking to see if raises are available. 15 an hour? Yes, please and yes, thank you. Should have been checking that more aggressively. We can actually do a triple shift here. Get our work performance guiding up here. Again, you need to be of an A- in order to potentially trigger that. So we do want to aggressively groundskeeper it up. And doing pretty well money-wise with a triple shift there. Well, all things considered. Aha! Just in time. At least we don't have to buy beer. That's a good thing. That is a good thing. All right, depositing there, earning decent amount of interest. I'm not even going to look at the stock market here. Not during this phase of the game. Trust me, we will be getting into it because, well, the stock market's one of my favorite aspects of this game. It just doesn't play into our strategy at the moment. Right then. Yeah, I guess we'll go home and fun it up the old-fashioned way here. Alright, shower, PC games, eat. $15.78. Nah, not worth the time to ask for that 2-cent raise. But hey, at least now with this little routine we've got going on here, now that we've got a little bit of a loop going, we can more consistently do a triple groundskeeper, which will net us a gain in work performance faster than we would if we just kept it at 2. You will eventually, overtake the decline in work performance if you just do 2 all the time. But doing 3 ensures that you get a good, healthy climb up to higher levels of work performance. Well, that's the other good thing about Groundskeeper. We don't need to buy fancy clothes. Our normal clothes, which we started the game with, are just as good as anything else. And yeah, $801 a week, not too shabby in the early game. And aggressively stocking away our cash will get us a fair amount of interest. Maybe not quite as much as if we were playing the stock market properly, but again, we're not doing the stock market in this early game. We will in time, I promise. All right, foodage, funnage. And we got our debt due. Okay, well, you know what? I think we're off to a fairly strong start. Even though the economy decides to continue surging ahead unfaltered here. But will we be able to make our transition? What is our transition? And will our completely different approach and the complete unavailability of bar fights in their old incarnation render our goal and our climb to $1 million impossible? Or maybe this will work even better than Nema 1.0. So if you guys like this episode and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment, good, bad, or indifferent. Your feedback's always welcome. So until next time, this has been Pinstar signing out. See ya!